Hey everybody, welcome back to Half-Life Alyx. So, you might notice the audio quality is a little bit better than usual. Well, I captured this whole thing, 48 minutes of video or something like that, a little less than that, and, well, there was no audio in the final output. So, right there I'm just looking at a poison head crab that kind of got crushed under the weight of its own hubris, I guess. I wouldn't know anything about that. So I am going to try to do a little bit of them there post-recording commentary things. Not sure how successful this is going to be, but, well, I don't know.
That was weird.
And the power's out. Looks like we're taking the stairs.
So if you couldn't tell, just based on that little sequence, that's kind of our primary antagonist in this part. It's like some sort of lightning dog thingy-mabopper. They take a lot of bullets to kill. Spoiler alert. And do a lot of funky like electrical attacks. So it's basically like a Pikachu dog hybrid, if you will. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. So right here, we've got our fairly stereotypical fight. It's a little funny because when I first started this, I remember this section being a little bit more puzzle heavy for whatever reason. But it turns out there's quite a bit of combat. Visuals are really cool, which is kind of a staple of this. And I don't know, everything feels so tanky. God, you can see me trying to talk and nothing's coming out. This is terrible. But yeah, a lot of head crabs, per usual. You know, what you gonna do? Fortunately, the shotgun is a very good remedy for that, although the game doesn't really... I mean, they kind of almost overload you with pistol ammo, relatively speaking. But when it comes to the shotgun, for whatever reason, it's just so rare. Now in here, just admiring the bottle physics. I just wanted to shake it up and see if anything would happen, but nah, it didn't really make a difference, so I did the mature thing and threw it on the ground. Absolutely perfect. The level of maturity you've all come to expect. So I think this is around when, I think I was mentioning, one of the things that I like about this being that you could kind of just like flick the, like it's almost like a gesture-based weapon system, as you can see by just the shape of the wheel. And it does work like that. Like if you hit the touchpad, flick up, and release, you'll get the pistol. Very what the hell? What am I doing? But you'll get the pistol very consistently. Same thing if you flick left. Same thing if you flick down. You get the her little multi-tool, the Alyx, if you will. And this is just one of those spatial puzzles that we're kind of used to.
Let's go back to the elevator plan. I'm gonna get the power back on.
Okay, thanks, Alyx. But this is another one of those spatial little wire routing puzzles that we've all kind of come to know and love, coupled with me messing with physics, as you do. So this one's on a little bit of a larger scale. Oh, this is where I'm showing off the flick system. Of course, commentary is not quite synced up, you know, due to circumstances beyond anyone's control or understanding. And that's one thing that I'm still kind of wondering about. I never got far enough into the game where I was able to find out what the third weapon is, because you can kind of see it on the little like flat screen hub or HUD. There's definitely a slot for it. There's obviously the pistol and the shotgun. There's definitely going to be something to the right. I'm not sure what it is. If it's going to be just like a what the hell am I doing? Okay, all right, everything's fine. Just got a little had to get that out of my system, I guess. But yes, this is where we start wiring routers, or routing wires around. Russell gives us some very brilliant commentary.
Here we go.
Basically saying that as we're in the middle of... Okay, when is he going to say it? I'm trying to look at the audio in the timeline, but... maybe it's right here. Yeah, maybe not. But he's basically like, as you're seeing how much of a rat's nest it is, it's telling you that it's a rat's nest of cabling. It's like, Valve's always been good about the whole show not tell thing, and I don't know, stuff like that just makes me kind of wonder how much, if they've like lost their way or something. Right here, I'm just kind of trying to sort of figure out where everything leads. I'm doing a quick visual inspection just to make sure there's no alarms, which there's not in this section, thankfully. And then there just goes the process of actually routing everything. Just making sure that bottom doesn't lead to anything that might kill me.
This hotel's ancient. The wiring's gonna be a real rat's nest.
Yeah, see, told you. Absolutely unnecessary. So yeah, just sort of following it around. I think this is the first real big example of like a widespread area where you're kind of dealing with this stuff. I don't think there's really any point to wiring it up to that, but I just go ahead forward and just sort of get everything ready from that perspective. It's like that just goes to that socket, which we don't really need, so we redirect it up. Keep going over. Get all the stuff out of the way. Eventually, I just do this because sometimes you just got to throw things around. That's what wiring's all about, right? You just sort of throw things off the shelf. It's great. Fortunately, this puzzle is, despite being kind of on the wide side, if you will, it is fairly straightforward. And I think that was kind of the point with this. It's kind of training you to deal with like a wider it's kind of training you to deal with like a wider scale, or like a puzzle like this on a wider scale. So as per usual, we'll just do one quick sweep of the room, make sure there's no more ammo caches or anything like that. Admire the little barnacle tongue right there. Perfect. And we get another one of these. I think when I was remembering that this section was puzzle heavy, this is kind of what I was thinking, because they have a lot of little puzzles directly in a row. We'll actually see that towards the end of the video as well, where we have like 3 of the same puzzle, or more or less the same puzzle, back to back. There's like 3 of them within the span of 2 minutes. It's a little irritating. Just going ahead and getting that out of the way in the most creative way possible. This hotel, as you can probably see by the other side of that door, is a lot of very interesting looking alien life forms growing in it. And another example where you have to use physics. Get that painting out of your way. And you have another electrical box. So in all fairness, I think that was just trying to teach you another lesson, but it still feels like you're doing 2 of basically the same puzzle just in a row. And then because this is Half-Life, the elevator can't possibly work, correctly.
And up
Told you.
looks like we're taking the ladder.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's not too much of a ladder in this case. It's a fairly short climb. Right into some infested hallways, as you do. And what I'm trying to do here is just get like a... Oh, you do see that on the monitor. Awesome. But yeah, whenever your head kind of clips through the wall, it gives that really bright orange. But what I'm trying to do is like get a good look at what might be down the hallway, and it's just badgering me with tutorial pop-ups, as you do. Yeah, I don't know. Me showing off how resilient these vases are.
This place is overgrown. How dangerous do we think this stuff really is?
Well, it is spores from another dimension, so probably... yeah, extremely. But a rare opportunity to examine alien flora up close.
Thanks, Russell. Much appreciated. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is just, fumble with resin for a little bit. And then just go ahead and search for weapons, ammo, as you usually do. And per usual, there are some bullets in the kitchen. Not quite over here, but, it's close enough. Sometimes grabbing the correct doors or drawer is actually a little bit tricky. Got some resin. For as much resin as we're picking up during this playthrough, I can't imagine how much we're also missing out on. I don't know. Trying to open the oven. No go. And this is where the bullets are, which it's, I think, just a single shell. Yeah, totally worth it. It makes me wonder how long the game would be if you cut out all this, like, searching for various things. The barnacles. Not going to deal with them right now. Actually, I don't think I ever deal with them. I just kind of let them be for once. More pistol ammo. Mostly because I'm not comfortable with the amount of ammo we have. Only 70 rounds in your backpack? What the hell's that? Now, just doing a bit more inspection. All that good stuff. Kind of wonder if there's a way that I could easily speed these parts up, but probably not. Because, you do have to grab everything, open every door by hand. Sadly, there's no option to just run down the line and hit E and all of them will just quickly open up and reveal their goods. Another thing that we kind of see in this, that you could sort of see in there, that thing that I was shooting at, there's these little green things. I was actually doing a health check because I wasn't sure if that would hurt me or not from that distance. But there's these green things that will grow and grow as you get close to them, and then it'll just kind of explode. I was trying to trigger it using the box, but I'm not sure if it was that or my presence. I'm going to go ahead and say my presence. They take about like 2 to 3 shots to destroy on average. We also find Zen grenades in this level, which are just kind of think like Halo sticky grenades without the sticky. They're quite nice. Unfortunately, the first one I forgot how to actually grab it, but I figured it out eventually with the second one that you run across. As with anything related to Zen, they grow from a plant because
I'm really starting to think I shouldn't be breathing this stuff.
Agreed. Just keep moving. Maybe breathe less.
And Russell being helpful as always. And I remember making a comment about that, so I can understand why there's no, like, ammo in every single chest of drawers you run across, or, every wardrobe or whatever. But the thing that I don't understand is, why were there no clothes in there? It's like most of the stuff has been fairly, some of it's been ransacked, but you'd think there'd be something, some evidence that this was a livable space. I don't know. Because I don't think this was meant to be like a hotel. I think it was meant to be like an apartment complex. Yep. Another earth-shattering kaboom.
Ugh. This stuff reeks.
Oh, really? What does it reek like? Be specific.
Like a rotting animal mixed with ammonia.
Mixed with ammonia. Okay.
Yep. Very insightful. And one piece of advice that I will give you with this one, especially later on when it comes to the combat sections, is, man, I'm over here now that I'm rewatching this. You don't really realize how often you're snap turning until you actually do it. Well, okay, what I did there, it didn't really come up very clearly in the footage, but oh yeah, there's a little stalagmite. Is it mite or stalactite that I ended up getting my head jammed into. But anyway, what I was doing was just throwing an empty magazine at the barnacle. That's the Zen grenade. The thing guards it jealously. Now, what you're supposed to do, spoiler alert, is walk up and just like quickly snatch it before he has a chance to grasp it. Then the creature just kind of looks a little sad. But anyway, one thing I do recommend, if you ever get yourself a VR setup, get some sort of mat. For one, like if you get one of those silicone mats that are meant for like standing desks, it does make standing a bit more comfortable because you're on a padded surface rather than like hardwood or carpet. And the other bonus too is that you can use it to tell where you are. Like for instance, what I'll do is I'll position it so that the center, or that the upper right part of the pad is kind of in the center of the room. And that way, neutral position, my right foot will be kind of towards the edge of the pad. My left foot will be just on it, kind of to the front. And then just based on that, I can tell where I am. So like if I'm turning right, then, you know, I'll be able to feel it. I mean, just visualize like a square and then just realize that you actually have nerves in your feet. Yeah, nothing too profound. But I do highly recommend it because that will prevent you from slamming into walls and furniture and generally just losing your position in the real world. And yeah, I can't believe that barnacle was being a freaking ammo hog. Like, seriously? Nervous some people. So right here, I tried to do the violence strategy. Yeah, a little silly. Took way too long to figure this one out. But in all fairness, it was like, shoot, at this point it was probably close to 1 o'clock. Now it's close to 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, on the day before this is supposed to go live. So yeah, definitely spending longer on this one than I intended to. But that's okay. Just one of those weird foibles, and a good lesson to always verify your levels and your VU meters in OBS before you start recording. Pro tip. And now I think we're at the point where we're entering the meat of the level here. Yep, we sure are.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Oh no, it's totally good. It's fine. Everything's fine, Alyx. I'm being a smart Alyx, don't mind me. I think this is actually where I was making that remark about the silicone mats. And me gesturing with what direction I was facing. I don't know. I should probably try to... Well, then again, I don't have any commentary to listen to. Like, it's not like the recording was bad. It just wasn't there. Oops.
Alyx, come in.
Yeah, and to the surprise of nobody, that whole electrical storm thing kind of completely cuts you off from being able to talk to Russell. Oh no. And there's the puppy. That was the thing that I was a little bit unsure of. I couldn't remember, because I did go through this part on my first playthrough of Alyx, but I couldn't remember if you were supposed to use puzzle strats to take the thing out, or if you were just supposed to, well, shoot the thing a whole lot. And spoiler alert, turns out the answer is shoot the thing a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, well, what you gonna do? You know, this is technically a shooter after all. But this is one of two that we'll be facing in this level. The second one has a bit more of a gimmick to it, which we'll get into very shortly. Also have that little cloud. This one's fairly easy, but I mean, these guys tank a whole lot of bullets. Like, I was thinking, you know, like with most things here, shotgun, probably going to take it out pretty quickly, but not really the case. Especially when you miss. That's kind of a problem. It thankfully doesn't do too many weird things to your view, although when you hurt it, it does kind of black out your view for a moment. And you do see that in the headset, and yes, it is a little bit disorienting. I don't know why the shotgun closed itself there. I guess I moved my wrist just enough where it ended up, like, slamming it closed. yeah, that attack thankfully doesn't do a whole lot of damage. As you can see, it only took like a little layer off one of the hearts. But it does completely freeze your movement for a second. And that is one thing that's a bit unfortunate about the pistol in this game. In most games, you know, the faster you pull the trigger, the faster it goes, you know, the gun goes bang. Also, that's kind of how it works in real life. But in this game, for whatever reason, it limits the speed that you can shoot the pistol. I think the reason that they do that, because there's a couple cases, like right there, I tried to just rapidly pull the trigger. Only 2 rounds actually fired. It's a reasonable speed, but I feel like I could shoot it a lot faster if the game would let me. And he's gone.
Alex, what happened?
There was like a dog-looking lightning thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
I killed it, and it crapped out this thing.
Yeah, very insightful. But yeah, I think one of the reasons they do that is to encourage you to get the burst fire power up for the pistol. Yeah, I might end up getting it at some point for that reason. We'll see. Now, one of the things I love about that is just, can you imagine being the voice actress for Alyx at that time and just having to read that line? It's like, I killed it and it crapped out this thing. You can only imagine like the script director's like, has something like, sound confused during this part. And then the voice actress is like, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. I think I could nail that one. Of course, then again, if she had any familiarity with the Half-Life games, yeah, she probably already knew things were going to get a little bit strange. But what you going to do? So we have another one of these puzzles. Now, this one, I kind of grasped the wrong end of the stick at first, because I thought that it was going to be one of those things where you couldn't break any of the lines. Because you see how it has that little red thing over there. So I thought you'd have to get like all the blue ones on one side, all the red ones on the same side, etc., etc. So that's one of the reasons I'm kind of rotating it excessively. And then when I just decided to give it a shot and see what the red field did, I kind of realized that I didn't actually memorize the location of any of the colors. So I pretty much just had to stumble my way through it. Whoops. The second one ends up going better. Don't worry. And I'm kind of trying to explain my thought process here in the actual original commentary, the one that you'll never get to hear. And I'll never get to hear for that matter. Don't worry, it's not just you. But yeah, this is where I'm like, okay, let's just give it a shot and see what happens. I think I tried to connect the 2 red ones, maybe? I don't remember. But it's one of those things where you could... The only thing the red's blocking you from... Oh, it's the yellow ones. It's only blocking you from creating the line. And in here, I'd just forgotten that you can't abort this sequence. So, now we're at the point where we're stumbling through it. It's pretty great. But you'll see in a second here, after I connect the yellow to the yellow, since it's already connected, it can go through the red section. Yeah. Hallelujah. And now I don't know where any of the other ones go, so we just kind of keep clicking on things. Oh well. Live and learn, I guess. See, there we go, there's 2. Awesome. Now, one of the things that is interesting is I believe you only get a limited number of attempts at this. You can see those like red spheres filling up at the top. And it gives you a lot of chances too. That's the best part. But fortunately, we had like 1 attempt left and managed to do it. Yeah. I don't know what happens if you fail, but you probably don't want to find out. So now you get a nice view of the sky. Looks very beautiful. And that guy had a grenade and a magazine. Thankfully, you could just kind of yank the magazine while he's on the ground level. I don't know if that's necessarily the intent. The intent might be just you grab one now and you grab another one later, but if it works, it works. Yeah, I tried to grab that. It didn't work. You'd think that the Russells would be able to grab it, but no. Thankfully, we had that grenade that we just picked up. We actually have another one on our left wrist. You can actually see that in the HUD. And some resin. Pretty great. Now, it is funny how fast you collect resin, because we had barely any when we started, and we're already back up to 13. We don't quite have enough for rapid fire or the grenade launcher. Yep, there we go. That's when I figured out how to actually grab it. But the technique with this one is you squeeze the grenade, completely whiff the throw, and then almost get killed. That's how you do it. That's how you Half-Life Alyx. Trust me, I'm a professional. But thankfully, the grenades do respawn. Also, just, like, when I grab it, look at how dejected the poor thing looks. It's like the little, if you've ever played Titanfall 2 or watched my streams on it, it's like the poor little worker bots. Like that one when you just, like, take his little arc spanner and he just gets real sad. That always got me. This is just me kind of doing a quick glance around. And yeah, I saw the explosives in there. I don't know how clearly that came through, but figured there's probably something above there, which there is. Throw a grenade in there, and then it goes kaboom. And now there's nothing blocking the door. Not this one. Of course, this one's still blocked, but you can get in through the other side. But I go ahead and just grab a grenade. There's a... I remember, like, one of my friends, when he ended up playing through this section, he actually ended up grabbing a bucket. And this is, like, one of the things you could do, because, again, yeah, the game does have a very nice physics engine. He ended up grabbing a bucket and just completely filling the bucket with Zen grenades and going through the rest of the level just being a complete grenadier. So, I mean, you know, it's a Half-Life game. You could do that kind of stuff. And I think, like, literally the only purpose to this room is to just grab that resin. It's me fumbling with a grenade. That won't be the first time that happens. I don't think there's really any reason to throw it up there either. Maybe there is. I don't know. I see that resin over there, try to grab it, and it goes down. But that's okay, we're going to be going down there eventually, so it doesn't matter all that much. So we're just going to grab one more grenade for the road, and first try. Left-handed grab. And we're going to go down to the next little arena. Not that way, though, because that could be potentially life-altering, if you will. We're going to go down that little hole instead. Bonk. See? Everything's great. And I'm pretty sure this section was just more or less made to trigger people that have that are afraid of heights. I don't know what the actual phobia for that is, but I don't know. In real, like, IRL, I don't care for heights. I don't think most people do. But in VR, it really doesn't bother me. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm fully aware that I'm in a simulated world. But I do know people who do have problems with heights in VR, so... Oh, yeah. Poison head crabs. Let me actually get an accurate count on this now that I can pay closer attention. It's one of those things where I was debating whether I want to toss a grenade in there or just start blasting. There were just two of them. Okay. I think it was because I was in, like, mid-panic fire, but I could have sworn there were three. So I was a little bit concernicus when I was walking in there, and I dropped the Zen grenade somewhere, and yeah, I saw it on the other side of the barnacle. Because, yeah, you can't, like, do a palm reload while holding a Zen grenade or anything. That's a little too much, I think. Or palm the mag. Yeah, something. I don't know. Insert words here. Just checking for resin or other various goodies. It's one of the things with this game. The side rooms generally don't have a whole lot of stuff. Like, I mean, this one had 2 poison head crabs, which are extremely tanky, and 2 magazines. Given that it takes like, and 1 resin. Yeah, but yeah, considering how tanky the poison head crabs are in this game, giving 2 magazines after forcing the player to fight through 2 of them, not cool. Now, I could have thrown the grenade and taken both of them out without that much ammo consumption. And it's kind of a waste of a Zen grenade, if we're being honest. But, yeah, I could have done that, but, I mean... that's one of those, like, definitely hindsight type of moments. And yeah, head crabs will jump at you no matter what's in the way, and it kind of freaks you out every time. And this is about where I was kind of questioning... sorry, yawning there. Terrible. I'm a terrible presenter. But this is where I was kind of questioning, because when you look around, there's a lot of the medical syringes, because I don't remember this upcoming fight. I don't know if it was just that I never got this far on my first playthrough, or if I just kind of forgot about it. I'm kind of leaning towards the former in this case. So I kind of just wasted that one. I barely had any health loss, and I was just like, yeah, stab, why not? But you'll find out soon. It's really still not a very horrendously difficult fight. And this is me speculating on whether that's the way out of here, which, spoiler alert, it is. And see, there's another injector. And I think we come across one more before we even get to the next boss. Yep, and that's the armored head crab, so I decided to take the logical approach and toss my normal grenade, just cook it for a little bit, and boom! Except the dude still survives like a douchebag. Thankfully, he rears up and I'm able to pull off a quick shot, so it could be a lot worse. And yes, he was also carrying an injector, because why not? So yeah, good stuff. And we're just kind of making our way deeper into the facility. And I think there's some dialogue coming up. And then this just doesn't look right at all.
Ah, crap. Lightning dog.
Be careful, Alyx.
Oh my god, he went into a guy. Russell?
Yeah, that seems normal. Wasted a few shots here, but you can see the weak point in a second. Yeah, there you go. The big bulbous thing. That's one thing that's kind of neat about the sight on the pistol. Is it really does a lot to kind of emphasize those weak points. One thing I will say, because remember when I was having kind of a hard time acquiring targets with the with like the normal sight or the reflex sight on the pistol, the laser sight combined with that makes things so much easier. I think it's because I have something else to follow in addition to the actual, well, sight. So that's a thing. Another injector, because you know you can never have too many of those. And just kind of searching this room for loot because I know there's going to be a fight when I go back to the main area. Because, you know, that's just how things go. And this is when I realized that I kind of fumbled the shells. One of them went into my backpack and the other one didn't, which is kind of interesting. Glance in there, see some resin, and try to grab it out of there. Easier said than done, but I do eventually get it. And then, I'm sure you could probably guess what the whole, oh, I saw something grabbable over there. Didn't see that in game. But I'm sure you could probably guess what the whole gimmick behind this fight is. And if you couldn't, well, there's a bunch of corpses in this room. Yeah. Thankfully, this is one of those cases where after I'm get used to the controls, I can reload pretty damn quickly. Now this guy has an attack that zaps electricity along the floor. He does it again, and one thing I didn't realize was it actually goes after you. And it actually does a lot of damage in addition to stunning you, as you could see. I think that's... It also blasted my respirator off, which I'm now realizing that you actually can't see that on the recorded thing. So maybe I'll just take it off, because I can constantly see it. You can actually see the construction hat I'm wearing now. I can see just a very slight part of the brim of it in the upper left. Yeah, fun times. And yeah, he still does that thing where he launches the fire attack. Thankfully this one, I don't know if it's because it did a lot of damage.
Doggone, what happened?
New development? It went into a dead guy.
No.
Yes. I killed both of them. It was nuts, Russell.
It sounds nuts.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, and me being glad that I have the injectors, but, and also being a little surprised they only heal one heart, but, I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're nice and quick. But, yeah, God, what was I saying before I got cut off by dialogue? I don't know. It's fine. Oh, it's me accidentally taking that off, even though my hand wasn't even near it. So yeah, I can get a better view of it, I suppose. But yeah, at this point I'm just replacing the medical injectors that I had before. I was obviously able to find another one without any real problem. I'd thought about putting that in early, but then I realized that I wanted to kind of see whatever sort of scene there was to see, but yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot. It just activates that, you press the button and the lift comes down. Nothing too wild. I should add, the lift comes down very, very slowly. Yep, there it is. I guess it could be worse. But it's not great. Yeah. I can understand it going up kind of slowly. That way people don't end up getting horrendously ill, but, you know. Could be better. Could be worse. Just checking under there. I saw that green glowing thing and kind of got excited, but I think that's just part of that little tank, whatever it is. Hit the button, but as we all know in the Combine, safety first.
Not to be a worrier, but shouldn't Dad be back by now?
Well, let's think about it, Alyx. He's on foot, moving at 3 miles an hour. Plus, he's a fugitive. He's only got one leg. There's obstacles, no direct path. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. He should be back by now.
Yeah. So I should be.
Normally, yes, but you're the one headed towards the danger, so I'd say we should be the ones worried about you.
Oh yeah, she got told. So, I was going to explain this, but then I remembered there was dialogue that was coming up. But the reason I think that they do that is not so much for Alyx's protection, but I believe they do that because if you have a static object to look at, even when you're moving without your body willingly doing it, like that's one of the things that gets most people sick when they first start VR, is just their virtual body moving in a way that their real body isn't. And it's one of the reasons why, like, sometimes even like racing games and fast games like that can actually be accomplished by a fairly new VR player, is because you're constantly looking at that dashboard. Like, I think like the first and only thing my dad ever played in VR was Project Cars, and it didn't make him sick at all. And I think that's a big part of why, because you're kind of expecting that sort of movement. You have that dashboard being a static fixture in your viewpoint. And I think that's what that elevator door is supposed to be. Because without that, you would just have an open area where you're just moving while your real body is just standing still, and it causes a whole bunch of inner ear tomfoolery. And also, this is where you end up doing basically 3 of a very similar puzzle all in a row. You can actually see the third one looking through the window of this door. And this is another one of these. Thankfully, I handled this one a little bit more masterfully than the first one. Wasn't super, but yeah, you know, what you gonna do? So another thing I wonder is if you go into like hard difficulty in this game, does it give you fewer chances to do puzzles like this? I don't know, but it's interesting to think about. That was just me getting kind of an okay look at it and already forgetting the puzzle. Yeah. And then me being like, derp, I'm smart, and then doing a little bit better. Yeah, I think I only get that one miss on this one, and it was a really stupid miss. But, oh well, what you gonna do? So okay, there's another puzzle. Hallelujah. Then we have a weapon upgrade terminal right in here, along with some goodies, including another health syringe, because I guess you can never have too many of those. And I couldn't really remember the cost of this stuff, so I wanted to take a quick look. But they do, I mean, in all fairness, it's 3 very similar puzzles, but they do add a little twist to it. Yeah. That's the twist. And this is me kind of planning my upgrades. Don't worry, I'm sure by next week I'll probably forget all the upgrades that were available again. But kind of thing with this, I don't really want double shot because ammo is already a problem with that thing. Maybe it's not after this point, I don't know. But the grenade launcher looks pretty nice. So probably safe for that. And then this is where I was kind of thinking, you know, the firing speed on this pistol isn't really all that great. And I think part of the reason is because that burst fire unlock is there. It is toggleable, which is the reason I'm kind of considering it now. Because I don't know if I missed that in the past, but yeah, it does say it's toggleable. It claims it is. And if you ever notice me just looking at my wrists like that, it's because that's my way of seeing how much health I have. Obviously, I don't have a heads-up display like you guys do. And, yeah, I have to physically look at them in order to see both what I have in my inventory, how much health I have, how much resin I have, and welcome to the most fucked up thing I've ever done on this channel. I was thinking, you know, dude, you're not watching TV right. It's facing away from you. So here I am. Now I'm trying to reposition him so you can actually watch it, because he just kind of gave up there. I mean, it's terrible to see. And I tried, but, you know, he just... Yeah, he was just being very uncooperative. So I just kind of figured, you know, I'll just let him sort it out whenever he wants to. I have the TV facing the right direction. That's fine. And then we've got this. That's me reaching over my shoulder to grab a weapon, because apparently I thought I was playing H3, and then getting a table smacked into my face. I think that's a chair, actually. But yeah, that's like max fire rate for the pistol. And I was probably pulling the trigger twice as fast as that. Yeah, I play rhythm games. I've got reasonably fast fingers. But I think I could kind of understand why they do that, because, I mean, if they didn't limit it somehow, the pistol would be pretty much the ultimate weapon, I guess. I don't know.
Uh-oh. This guy's not wearing a shirt.
And I like how she's concerned about that. It's like, this guy's not wearing a shirt. Like, you've seen plenty of other people not wearing the front of their body. I was just making sure the head crab was dead. Could never be too sure. And the reason I put 2 in is just so I can, I don't know, just to expend that round. Because I only had a couple shots in that magazine. I figured why not? If I'd dropped the mag, it would have been wasted anyway. It's me fumbling the shells again. I don't know, sometimes it doesn't seem like the backpack system is particularly responsive. It's a little weird. And just doing a quick check here, and there is a loading screen. How fancy. And that's pretty much where I'm going to cut it here. I did do a lot of extra exposition, but I think I actually covered that during, well, this re-recorded exposition. Hallelujah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. We are still in Chapter 5. We're still in the Northern Star, but I don't think we will be for very much longer. I mean, because that's been actually a pretty long chapter, the longest one so far. So yeah, we'll see where we go next week, I guess. But that's been all for... Or that's been... What? What am I even saying? But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about the rather awkward commentary this time around. Hopefully I won't make the same mistake next week. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, take it easy.